All right, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video of the Mark II TTS. Today we're going to be doing another little bit of service maintenance on the car that I've been neglecting for a little while now, and the car has been relatively stinky on the inside when running the vents, and it is now November. It is cold outside. We do have the heat ripping in the TT quite frequently on the way to work and just doing whatever. So having a really smelly engine bay flowing through into the cabin, the air filter doesn't do too much, and that's because it is leaking oil, unfortunately. Not anything super major, but as you can tell from the title of this video, we are going to be doing the valve cover gasket on the EA113 that is in my Mark II TTS today. So this would be the same for if you have a Mark V GTI, a Mark VI Golf R. So we're going to be doing that today. I'll show you guys how to do it. It is very simple. There are a couple things that are a little bit tricky for doing this, and because these motors are getting older, the old style Volkswagen plastics that are on here are going to be getting brittle just from all the heat cycling of age and having fluids and stuff run through them. So I'm gonna do my very best to show you guys how not to break those plastic parts when you take them off. And we're gonna go ahead and get this job done and do a little bit of a spicy appearance modification while we have everything apart. And then we'll throw it back together, go for a drive, and make sure nothing's leaking so we don't have a stinky oil smelling interior on the car anymore. But without me rambling on too much longer as I tend to do, let's pull the engine cover off and start taking the TT apart. Because this is a TTS and not a Mark V GTI, I don't actually have the noise pipe that runs over on the left side of the engine here. It's just the diverter valve pipe that runs to the intake of the turbocharger. So that's not necessarily going to have to come out of the way, but if you do have the noise pipe, I'm pretty sure you do have to move that. We're also going to have to remove a portion of our intake as well as the mounting bolt that goes right on top of the heat shield for the main pipe that feeds into the elbow of the intake of the turbo. And those are the only really big differences between the CDM/CDL EA113 that's in the Mark II TTS and the Mark VI Golf R versus the BPY EA113 that's in the Mark V GTI. So we're gonna take the coil packs out because that is typically the first thing that you're gonna wanna do when you're doing any valve cover on any Volkswagen. Very, very simple. We're gonna start by undoing the push tabs for all of the coil packs themselves. And if you've never done Volkswagen coil pack push tabs before, you wanna push the connector in towards the coil pack itself, pop the tab, and then pull it off. If you're just gonna sit here without getting any of that compression onto the coil pack, you're just gonna break the tab off of these, and they do like to break, especially on the older cars. And we're gonna go ahead and pop our coil packs. I just typically like to use a small pry bar just under the back side of the coil pack. You don't need a lot of pressure to get them up. And if you do like these coil packs, I will have links to them in the description. These are the factory Bosch R8 coil packs. These are great. I did upgrade these a while ago. And then typically I like to keep all the coil packs in order when I do take them out of the car, just to, in case you ever have to chase any faults or anything in the future for misfires and that kind of thing, you just keep every coil pack to its specific cylinder. Another way you'll be able to tell if you have a valve cover leak that is affecting inside your coil packs is along the shaft here. When you do pull the coil packs, there might be a ring at like a certain height closer to the bottom of the coil pack that will have like caked up old oil on it. I just recently did these, I want to say maybe about 15,000 kilometers ago, and every single one of my coil packs looks like this. They're all still basically clean, no leaks there, but I do have the leak along the back side of the engine above the turbocharger heat shield. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the little tab off the back of the heat shield bracket here for the intake. Could make it a little bit faster by using power tools, but it doesn't really matter. I just usually keep the bolts up in the little honeycomb tray up on here if I don't have a magnetic tray, but obviously if you do, use a magnetic tray. And next we're gonna undo the silicone portion of the intake. Just gonna undo the hose clamps here and pull these guys out of the way. And we should be able to just push the intake pipe back. And then next we're gonna undo the PCV hoses, just the one that goes to the intake. And then we're also gonna need to do the one that's on the top of the PCV here. I'll move you guys to the other side real quick. And I do need to get a better lens for this camera because you can't really zoom in far enough to see it. But it's just this one up here. This is a little bit of a pain in the ass to get this one off because it does like to break. So I'm gonna take my time and be very, very careful here to get that one off because I don't want to have to pull my intake manifold off to replace that hose because that one runs underneath the intake manifold into the PCV, like drain box or whatever you want to call it, underneath the intake manifold. I'm just using like a 90-degree pick kind of thing to get that off. So just kind of tuck it out of the way a little bit there. Okay, so I have to take you guys off the stand to do the next part. So right down here, we have these two hoses. This one is going to be a lot more difficult to get out because this clamp is not going to be reusable. So you're going to need to have a new hose clamp on standby unless you are a Volkswagen specialist and you can go ahead and crimp that and make it all work, but you do kind of have to pry it apart to get it loose, to get that off. And then the little hose right next to it is just a standard Volkswagen hose clamp. So we're going to pull both of those off now. There we go, we got the one off. I just use a flathead to kind of cut it open, and I'll show you guys what this clamp looks like just so you kind of like understand how it works a little bit better. So it kind of just like, obviously it's going to fit like a circle, but as you can see here, it has these little tabs that hook into these little holes here, and then it's crimped right here, and that's kind of what creates the tightening. So if you technically wanted to pull this open and then get it around the pipe and re-hook it into the little dots like that, and then just crimp this down, that technically could rework, but to make your lives a lot simpler, you can just use like a socketed hose clamp, and I'll show you what I mean by that. You could just go ahead and replace it with one of these bad boys. And this is probably what a lot of people... Just dropped that on my car right onto that scratch it. Anyways, you can replace it with one of these. A lot of people do that. You can replace it with one of the traditional OEM hose clamps. Some other people also do that as well. Either or works. Either or will get the job done. No big deal. Okay, both hose clamps are good. So now, pull all the T30s off. And you have the two that are on the upper timing cover. So now we just got to get the cover off somehow, some way. There we go. God, I don't know why that was so difficult. All right, and after fighting with the valve cover for about 5 minutes to get it off, we now have the valve cover off. We're gonna go ahead and clean the entire outside and the inside spark plug tubes and the bolt holes just with whatever you have. Clean rag preferably. Don't spray any brake cleaner or anything. Spray on the rag, then wipe it, make sure nothing falls on the engine. You can also vacuum around the outside before you do the step. That's what I did. I have a shop vac. We did that, and then, like I said, we were gonna do a little bit of a spicy mod, so it has been a couple extra minutes, and we're still kind of waiting for it to dry a little bit. While I have the camera set up there, we wrinkle painted the valve cover. I'm still kind of waiting for it to dry a little bit more, so we'll throw that on in a second, and then we'll reassemble it in reverse, but I'll also show you guys how to install the new gasket. It is really straightforward. This guy here, it's just a replacement one. I have there's an L-ring, so it's like pretty much an OEM one. We're gonna throw that in, show you guys how to do that right now. Going to very carefully install our new valve cover gasket, which only really goes on one way. As you can see, there are 5 holes on the bottom. These guys, 5 here, and we actually only have 4 on another side. So it can only go on one way. It's not really that hard to, or I guess it would be pretty hard to mess it up. And if you do somehow mess this up, you should probably stop working on cars altogether, just saying. All in there. Now, it probably won't hold itself in just with the gasket, so we're going to need to ship a couple of the bolts back through, just because I pulled mine all the way out. And the bolts do kind of hold themselves in on the gasket too, which is nice. So we got a couple in. So now that the valve cover is set, we're going to go ahead and throw it onto the engine. And we're going to start with those hoses at the back that we had a hard time getting off, because that's kind of the most difficult part. And then we just have to put everything back together in reverse as usual. So cue the high-speed reassembly montage. Very nice. All right, let's fire it up and make sure nothing explodes. Now, unfortunately, the valve cover didn't turn out appearance-wise as good as it did when I did the one on the EA113 TDI engine in my Mark 6 Golf that you guys, if you are subscribers of the channel, have seen about a bajillion videos on. But it does add a little bit more of the aesthetic to the engine bay. Obviously carbon fiber, DV plus red coil packs, and being a TTS in general, it looks a little bit better. There are some more cosmetic mods we're going to do in terms of the engine bay itself that we will talk about later into the future, but we have gone ahead and fixed a lot of the oil leak issue. So around the front of the motor, we don't have, if it'll focus, we don't have any more oil leaking down the front, none out of the back anymore. So we have fixed the oil leak, and I know that's probably what a majority of you are here to see, and that's how to do the valve cover. And that is probably the biggest benefit to having the EA113 or the EA113, the BPY style engine that is in the Mark II TTS, the Mark 6 Golf R, and of course the Mark 5 GTI. This is a CDM model. You don't have to deal with the cam cradle style that is in the EA888 in the newer Golf Rs and the A3 and the Mark 6 GTI, because when you do that, you are removing the actual cam caps that hold the cams into the top of the head. So you have a lot less risk here. It's a lot easier to do. All you're messing around with is PCV and vacuum lines, but it's super simple, and we're done. So if you are new to the channel, do not forget to subscribe. And then if you do need any parts to do any repairs on any of your Volkswagens or Audis, don't forget to check out the link to ECS in the description. Anything you do buy through any of my links do help me out on any of my videos. So if you guys want to support the channel, don't forget to go buy your parts through ECS. If you want to help the channel out even more than you already do, don't forget to check out the link to the Patreon in the description. But thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out and stay tuned for some more TTS build videos.